an inspiring experience. Not simply a place for your meeting, but a part of your meeting. So I prepared a very quick welcome presentation for you, describing Fondazione Golinelli and Opificio Golinelli visions, activities with the support of few slides. Our founder and honorary president established Golinelli Foundation in 1988. Since then, the foundation is a national reference point in the field of education, training, and cultural dissemination, helping new generations with fostering their growth, cultural, human, and professional development. Golinelli Foundation is a private, independent operating institution. We manage it with an entrepreneurial approach, and it represents a unique model in Italy with a global, strategic, and philanthropic vision. Today, the Foundation is addressing its action to the most innovative research areas and is supporting new innovative business ideas, aiming to becoming also a national and international reference point in the field of technical and scientific innovation. Opus 2065, our new long-term development program, started 4 years ago. It connects our vision and our strategic goals with an important time horizon. In the picture, you can see the 4 main operative units of the Foundation: Arts and Sciences, School and Education, Research and Training, Enterprises. This place is our home, Opificio Golinelli. It was born in October 2015, and since then, almost 400,000 participants, young people, children, students, parents, teachers, entrepreneurs, men and women of culture, have had access to this large city of knowledge, innovation, and culture. Opificio Golinelli's ecosystem integrates education, training, research, technology transfer, business incubation and acceleration, venture capital, along with the Arts and Sciences Center. It is an innovation ecosystem in our territory that is building bridges on a national and international level. In Opificio Golinelli, we also have a big data research school, a competence center for Industry 4.0, promoted by the Ministry of Economic Development, and it is a sort of Fraunhofer Institute for Technological Transfer. And also we have a national laboratory for the connection between school and enterprises, promoted by the Ministry of Education and Research. Fondazione Golinelli has 6 pillars in educational innovation. Digital skills and the responsible use of technologies is one of the most important elements for us. So, we are waiting for an even more complex world, interconnected, unpredictable, exponential, but full of possibilities. So we need to open younger generations' mind and deliver them a new toolbox to deal with the future with confidence. Education helps to ask the right questions, to define why and how, even before asking what. This is crucial if you want to create added value. An entrepreneur, a professional, an artisan, a researcher, a designer, an artist who want to create value in the future must possess fundamental tools: curiosity, imagination, creativity, passion, social responsibility, ethics, but also scientific, digital, and technological competencies. Education and training are the keys to success for the human being in the future. In all artistic, humanistic, and scientific fields, digital and technological competencies must be universally introduced. Thanks for your attention. Remember, Golinelli Foundation pay off. Be intelligent, be there. Enjoy your meeting, enjoy Bologna. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Danieli. it looks like we need a Golinelli Foundation everywhere, in every city and every region. And I think we can also learn very interesting things from your experience. And combining all those fields, education and research and innovation and support for entrepreneurs is also quite common also across our network. I think this is the great place, the best possible place that we can have the summit. Next, I would like to invite Mr. Roberto Righetti, who is the General Director of Arter, our main co-organizer and supporter of the summit this year, and a member of All Digital, a long-standing member, so please.
Buongiorno a tutti, parlerò italiano perché abbiamo un ottimo servizio di traduzione e qualcuno deve pur usarlo, credo, no? Allora, intanto spero che l'ospitalità emiliano-romagnola sia al livello di quello che vi attendiate, soprattutto per quelli che vengono da fuori, quindi spero che stiate bene a Bologna e che siate stati bene a Bologna. Consentitemi di ringraziare all'inizio le persone di Arter che hanno lavorato anche all'organizzazione di questo meeting, quindi Stefano, Rita, Valeria, Paolo, Cristina, grazie mille, di solito non si dice mai, ma anche per la loro partecipazione attiva All Digital, che è una cosa molto importante per noi. Allora, io provo a devo presentarvi la carovana STEM, questo è il mio obiettivo, faccio lo speaker di un gruppo molto grande che sta lavorando, però vi voglio dire prima cos'è Arter e cosa facciamo, perché lo facciamo in questo modo, qual è stata la logica per cui facciamo questa carovana STEM con questa particolare caratteristica. Allora, Arter è una società che nasce dalla fusione di due grandi società della regione che si chiamavano Aster e Ervet, si occupa di sviluppo sostenibile, ricerca industriale, trasferimento tecnologico e attrattività. Quindi se escludiamo la lotta alle cimici asiatiche e la chirurgia neuromolecolare, noi tendenzialmente tutto il resto lo facciamo. Ecco, questo è un po' per darvi i compiti. Mi dicono che devo parlare più lentamente per consentire la traduzione. Ok? La nostra operatività, diciamo così, ha 3 punti di riferimento. Richiamo un po' cose che ha detto anche Andrea, ma noi siamo una società, siamo un consorzio di Regione Emilia-Romagna e università ed enti locali, e quindi naturalmente ci colleghiamo all'attività della Regione. Le 3 parole chiave sono sviluppo sostenibile, gap territoriale e insieme. Sviluppo sostenibile non ve lo declino, vi risulterà semplice. Mi interessa invece parlare di gap territoriale. Il nostro obiettivo è quello di consentire a tutti i cittadini dell'Emilia-Romagna, a tutte le imprese dell'Emilia-Romagna di avere uguale accesso delle opportunità. Questo è un obiettivo fondamentale del nostro lavoro. E il terzo è insieme, non a caso noi siamo un consorzio con università, cioè di fare questa cosa insieme a tutti i soggetti che hanno competenze su quel tema. In Italia la cosa è istituzionalmente molto complessa. Io non conosco tutti i 29 paesi che partecipano al digital, immagino che anche voi abbiate complessità come le nostre sono particolarmente complesse e richiedono un lavoro di società o di agente che integrano queste diverse competenze e cercano di farle andare su una stessa direzione. Questo è uno dei nostri compiti. Sul digitale, cos'è che stiamo facendo? La cosa che ha detto Andrea prima è molto importante, c'è un grandissimo investimento, forse il nostro più grande investimento, sul tema dei big data e human development. In Emilia-Romagna stiamo investendo quasi 1,2 billion euro nella realizzazione di un grandissimo centro di calcolo in cui ci sarà il centro meteo europeo e una grande macchina che metterà cineca. Avremo quasi l'80% della capacità di calcolo italiana e saremo uno dei 5 più grosse concentrazioni di capacità di calcolo in Europa. Naturalmente ci aspettiamo che questo produca degli effetti su tante filiere. Questa grande capacità di calcolo poi si deve tradurre anche in una dimensione di inclusione, che è quella che vi dicevamo prima. La seconda cosa, stiamo lavorando molto sulle competenze digitali, sia sul gap che che deriva dall'età, sia sulle alte competenze. C'è un grandissimo lavoro fatto sia dall'università che dalla Regione Emilia-Romagna per finanziare dottorati di ricerca su questi temi, sia sull'accesso, che è quello che vi racconterò con le carovane STEM. L'altro tema appunto è il gap territoriale, di cui la carovana STEM è una rappresentazione. Arrivo al tema appunto gap di genere. Allora noi emiliano-romagnoli tendiamo a essere molto pragmatici e molto committed a questo obiettivo. In generale gli obiettivi, questo è il fatto che il parmigiano-reggiano sia così è un po' la traduzione di come siamo, no? Allora io ho 2 figli, mia figlia fa fisica, quindi abbiamo preso, è una di quelle persone che alla 6ª ora di algebra dice e vai che ci stiamo divertendo. Mio figlio fa filosofia invece e si occupa di filosofia e basket, 2 materie molto collegate in realtà. Bologna è una grande capitale del basket e se conoscete il basket immaginate che filosofia e basket sono 2 temi molto prossimi. Quindi diciamo che in primo luogo abbiamo tutti noi di Arter affrontato il tema singolarmente, quindi se voi fate interviste dentro Arter avremo tutti i figli così, le ragazze fanno fisica e i maschi fanno filosofia, questo per dirvi come abbiamo assunto l'obiettivo in senso stretto. Passando oltre, come l'abbiamo fatta questa cosa e che cos'è? Prima cosa, sembra banale, ma abbiamo fatto un accordo con il provveditorato, con chi si occupa di scuola, cioè se lavoriamo sui temi scolastici bisogna che lavoriamo insieme in un sistema coordinato. Sulla scuola c'è questo accordo che ha citato Andrea Orlando prima, che aveva 2 capisaldi. La prima è la connettività, cioè bisognava portare tutte le scuole ad un livello di grandissima connettività, cosa che stiamo facendo e che entro il 2021 sarà conclusa, cioè tutte le scuole dell'Emilia-Romagna saranno collegate a banda larga e quindi potranno sviluppare progetti di questo genere senza avere particolari problemi su questo aspetto. E il secondo punto era scegliere alcuni elementi su competenze, in questo caso in particolare si è scelto di lavorare sulle STEM e sul gap di genere, perché ritenevamo che questo fosse uno dei punti più critici, soprattutto sulle fasce d'età più giovani. A partire da questo, scusate, da questo accordo, abbiamo cominciato a organizzare insieme all'ufficio scolastico regionale questa ipotesi di lavoro che sostanzialmente si sostanzia in 3 macro livelli e poi vi dirò perché si chiama carovana anche. Sostanzialmente i 3 modelli sono un laboratorio di 4 ore in orario scolastico sulle materie che poi vi dirò. I partecipanti lavorano in gruppi di 8-10 persone, le scuole mettono a disposizione le infrastrutture e lì arriviamo noi con i docenti e con tutti quelli che devono operare. La logica in questo caso è quella di accendere la lampadina, cioè di interessare, di fare, diciamo così, un trailer del tema. Quello che ci proponiamo di fare è appunto non raccontare ti piace la fisica, ma far vedere operativamente in una condizione diversa rispetto a quella solita cosa vuol dire fare cose che hanno a che vedere con il digitale. I temi che abbiamo trattato sono molto diversi e ve li cito, dalla modellizzazione stampa 3D ai droni, arte, musica e tecnologia, web radio, fake news e uso consapevole dei social, realtà aumentata e uso di Google Expedition, finanza digitale, criptovalute, open data, abbiamo fatto diverse cose su open data journalism, robotica, food storytelling, ciclomeccanica e mobilità sostenibile, orto digitale e altro. Tante cose diverse perché questi laboratori sono stati adeguati alle scuole in cui andavamo, perché il tema della carovana è che ci muoviamo, cioè non chiamiamo la gente in un punto, ma siamo noi che andiamo da loro e adeguiamo il nostro modello alle loro esigenze. Questo era il presupposto su cui siamo stati molto chiari. Ci stiamo un po' allargando perché stiamo andando anche un po' a festival, a sagre di piazza, facciamo anche operazioni un po' diverse, ma però nel modello iniziale, cioè scuole, siamo noi che muoviamo le nostre persone e andiamo nelle diverse scuole adeguando alle loro necessità il tema che vogliamo trattare. Devo dire che finora il trailer funziona, nel senso che vediamo un ritorno notevole, al punto che ci stanno chiedendo tante scuole di fare questa cosa. Siamo in quella fase in cui dovremo crescere come nostra capacità operativa, perché siamo alla saturazione di quello che avevamo pensato fino a questo momento. Però vuol dire che la cosa funziona e soprattutto innesca all'interno delle scuole successivamente alla nostra partecipazione una serie di attività, perché questo è il punto. Noi facciamo appunto il trailer, ma poi il film deve essere fatto all'interno della scuola. Il provveditorato del laboratorio Marconi stanno lavorando molto su questo aspetto, cioè sui follow up, e devo dire che la cosa sta funzionando, almeno i ritorni che abbiamo sono molto positivi. Gli altri due modelli di intervento sono dei campus estivi residenziali della durata di una settimana, aperti a 30 partecipanti. Li abbiamo fatti in posti, diciamo così, in montagna e al mare, li vedete lì molte delle immagini, e soprattutto in posti che vanno un po' trovati, in cui non c'è connettività. Cioè la cosa che interessante era fare tutto questo offline, e quindi far mollare il telefono, far mollare WhatsApp il più possibile. Poi naturalmente davamo qualche ora di libertà, o se no c'era il crollo psicofisico della socialità dei ragazzi. Quindi fargli mollare questa cosa e farli stare in queste condizioni a lavorare, facendo mattinate tecniche e pomeriggi invece ricreativi. Un secondo modello invece è un campus estivo non residenziale organizzato all'interno della scuola. Ne abbiamo fatto uno, il primo, a Castelnuovo nei Monti, che è in un plesso di montagna, aperto appunto ai partecipanti in ambito scolastico, quindi anche qui c'è sempre il tema di far utilizzare la scuola in una forma diversa rispetto a quella in cui i ragazzi sono abituati ad usarla, facendo cose con modalità e tecniche diverse rispetto a quelle che sono abituati ad utilizzare. I posti che vi ho segnalato sono soprattutto quelli sicuramente quelli dei campus, ma anche diversi dei laboratori, sono aree lontane dal centro della regione, e questo è il terzo obiettivo che vi dicevo prima, cioè agire sui gap territoriali. Naturalmente molto spesso lavorare su aree lontane o far arrivare informazioni su aree lontane è più difficile, e anche innovazione di carattere didattico è più difficile, per cui ci siamo molto concentrati su questo aspetto. E quindi si chiama carovane, poi vedrete lì il logo e tutto il resto, non solo perché andiamo in giro, ma perché andiamo in giro anche in posti un po' meno accessibili di Bologna, Modena o Reggio Emilia, anzi decisamente più lontani e più inaccessibili. Questa cosa continuerà, perché il problema dell'accessibilità da parte di tutti i cittadini emiliano-romagnoli a queste tecniche è uno dei nostri obiettivi, e continueremo appunto a lavorare in questi ambiti. L'intervento che è stato finanziato dal Fondo Sociale Europeo, e quindi ringrazio la direzione che si occupa del Fondo Sociale perché ha creduto in questa in parte sfida, con una logica. Mi stanno dando un segno che vorrei intendere, però, cioè vuol dire chiudi. Ok, chiudo. 2 minuti, ho 2 minuti, benissimo, io sono felice di chiudere. È stato finanziato dal Fondo Sociale Europeo che appunto si occupa di competenze, quindi bene, ma ha creduto in questo approccio con l'idea che Arter faccia sostanzialmente pilota, cioè le sperimentazioni, i tentativi, le innovazioni, e poi il sistema si diffonda utilizzando le strutture formative che generalmente collaborano col Fondo Sociale Europeo, le agenzie formative. Quindi la logica con cui lavoriamo è questa, noi facciamo pilota, sperimentiamo, cerchiamo di trovare dei livelli comuni e poi passiamo questa cosa in un sistema coordinato che vede provveditorato, agenzie formative e noi in un'unica catena operativa. Chiudo dandovi solo 2 numeri. In realtà da quando ha parlato Andrea, cioè 10 minuti fa, sono aumentati il numero dei partecipanti, in realtà sono state coinvolte 2.000 ragazze finora, non 1.500. Puntiamo a coinvolgere per tutto l'arco del progetto 20.000 ragazze e ragazzi, anche in parte, perché naturalmente per anche regole del Fondo Sociale Europeo non possiamo totalmente escludere ragazze dalla partecipazione ai campus o a queste iniziative. 20.000 su una platea attorno ai 120.000 ragazzi in quella classe d'età, quindi puntiamo ad arrivare almeno al 15% del totale della platea delle persone che potrebbero entrare, che hanno quelle caratteristiche per entrare in questo tipo di progetti. Quindi è uno sforzo molto grande, noi siamo molto entusiasti di farlo, ringrazio ancora i ragazzi che lo stanno facendo operativamente, credo che otterremo dei risultati molto buoni, come stiamo già in parte ottenendo. Vi ringrazio molto dell'attenzione.
Thank you very much, Mr. Righetti, for this rich presentation, and it sounds like that you're doing so many interesting things that there will be not enough time even for the whole day. But I would just like to mention that actually there will be a workshop in the afternoon about specifically the summer camps that are organized by Arter. Yeah, for those who are interested to learn more about these activities and the specificities, and if you want to replicate them, feel free or go ahead and attend this workshop. So now it's our time. Our chair of the board of All Digital will welcome you as well on behalf of the host organization. So please, Achilles Kameas, chair of the board.
Good morning, everyone. Let me thank once more the Emilia-Romagna region and Fondazione Golinelli who supported this event and are hosting this event. Also, I'd like to thank our local members who helped us with the organization, all of you who are here, the members of the network. And last but not least, I'd like to thank the staff of All Digital who managed once more to create, to organize a very interesting and exciting event, and hopefully we will keep your interest high until the end. Well, despite our name, in All Digital we are all humans. We are not digital. And humans are at the center of our activity and at the center, and we care about them. And we care mostly about those humans who are at the risk of being excluded from our modern, super technological society. We care about digital skills, improving their digital skills, improving their digital literacy, giving them the set of competencies required for their full participation in the knowledge society. We know that a digitally literate individual will possess digital skills, knowledge of the basic principles of computing devices, and skills in using computer networks, so that the person will be able to understand the societal issues raised by digital technologies and develop critical thinking skills. We know also that lack of digital skills causes a form of digital disability. People suffering from it are unable to access, evaluate, or use online information. Then we support more specific skills, let's say, like STEM skills. STEM education provides a comprehensive curriculum aiming at enhancing real-life problem-solving skills, and that is why, for us, it is really interesting and really important to promote the development of digital skills, and also the newer version of STEM that's called STEAM, by adding the dimension of arts. But STEM education is all about science. It is expected that STEM-aware citizens will be able to understand data and information and make informed decisions and contribute to dealing with societal issues because of their knowledge and of their capacity to make informed decisions. But lack of STEM skills, as has been reported, causes a mismatch between job requirements and candidates' skills. therefore leading to understaffing, unsatisfactory careers, and also reduced life skills, which for us is a really, really important aspect. And at the same time, computational thinking provides us with a set of problem-solving methods which involve expressing problems and their solutions in a way that a computer could be used to solve them. So computational skills usually include skills and practices for designing computations that get computers to do the job for us and then explaining and interpreting the world as a complex of information processes. In that context, coding is the process by which a set of instructions can be written in order to use a computer in a beneficial way. Therefore, lack of coding skills and computational thinking might lead to reduced problem-solving ability and inefficient computer usage. Now, after this brief introduction to the topics of this conference, I hope I made clear why this year's conference combines digital skills with STEM, education, and coding. And I hope I gave you some food for thought to answer the question that our Vice President posed in her opening talk, what this conference can contribute to you, what you can take away from participating to this conference. Button pressing skills are not included in this list. Okay. Now that's the really important slide, and the system refuses to show it to you. We are striving to fight digital exclusion here in All Digital, because we know that adults who do not possess a sufficient level of digital skills face a high risk of social exclusion. Social exclusion can appear in different forms. For example, people cannot use public or private services that are offered online. So maybe they don't get healthcare services, maybe they cannot find employment or get unemployment services and so on. Then also lack of digital skills can lead to exclusion from employment or satisfying careers. And then again, this might create unsatisfying life and even poverty. And also you can lead to the exclusion from social life, which is probably the most important of all dimensions, and this might lead to solitude, depression, marginalization, and other symptoms. So, unless measures are taken to enhance the digital inclusion of people, it is possible that the technological underclass will appear. Here in All Digital, our vision, therefore, is that every European should be able to exploit the benefits and opportunities created by digital transformation, and our mission is to empower our member organizations to support the millions of Europeans who are in need of improving their digital skills in order to be included in contemporary society. These are some of our focus areas: basic digital skills, employability, entrepreneurship, coding, digital media literacy, STEM skills for society. You will see that the 3 topics of this year's conference are included in the list of our basic focus areas. And of course, we support these by a range of projects that we implement either as coordinators or as partners. You will hear about some of these projects here during this conference. The DCDS project, for example, the Digital Competencies Development System, who has developed a methodology and a platform to support the development of digital skills by low-skilled people. The Codinc project, which fosters STEM education of disadvantaged youth. The UMISIET project, which also aimed at improving, making more attractive STEM education to young boys and girls, and many more projects that you will find out by going around the exhibition that we have in the other hall and by following the presentations and the talks of these 2 days. And also, We organize an annual empowerment campaign every year in March since 2010 that we call All Digital Week, in which we, through our members, we engage people to use technology in the internet to develop skills that allow them to benefit from digital transformation. Every year we achieve high numbers of participation in All Digital Week. For example, last year we had 2,500 partners, organizations from 34 countries, organized 3,700 events for addressing hundreds of thousands of participants. And this year, 2020, next year, Digital Week will be again organized in March. Okay, so before I close, and thank you once more for your participation, I would like to invite to the podium our new Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Renato Sabatini, and introduce him to you. Renato assumed his position on the 1st of October. He's our new CEO, replacing Laurențiu Bunescu, our previous CEO that you probably all know, and we are happy that he is participating in this event. And Renato will be trying to meet all of you, ask you questions, find out about you and the members. So please help him and give him a clear picture of what you do and what All Digital means to you. Thank you very much. I wish you to enjoy the rest of the conference.
Good morning. Thanks, Achilles. And dear friends, it's a pleasure to be here with all of you. It's an honor to be the new CEO of All Digital. I feel I'm lucky and privileged. I found in All Digital an organization which is very strong. I've met a board which has a clear vision for the future, and it's very determined. I consider myself lucky to have colleagues who are very dedicated and professional in the staff. And can I say that I'm really humbled by the richness and the diversity of the expertise of you all and your organization. You're doing work in the territory and at the European level that is, I would say, life-changing, to say the least, for many, many people. And I'm beginning to realize that the lack of digital skills is perhaps one of the greatest threats to our democracies as we know them. Digital skills are the kind of basic competence upon which we can hope to solve all the other major issues over time, including climate change and equality and all that, because it's only when the population is truly in all its strata, in all its groupings, really competent and savvy from the point of view of digital skills, and that it's a population made of true individuals who are independent, who have the ability of revolutionize their relationship with the technologies of nowadays, that we can hope to have collectively the possibility to solve the complex problem of our world today. Voila, that's it. I'm really looking forward to get to know you all better in the next couple of days, but also in the next weeks and months. There's a long road ahead of us, but I'm convinced that we will meet more and we will be able to find more and more allies to join us in this very worthy and crucial mission. Thank you all very much.
Thank you very much, Achilles and Renato. We are very excited to turn this new page for the organization. And I would just like to echo what Achilles said about the members, that you are actually our drivers. So please go ahead sharing and providing us with inspiration. And we are actually a network for you to provide you with opportunities to exchange, to share, to grow, to be better. Yeah, we need you and you need us. Now I would like to invite our first keynote speaker, Mr. Olivier Creuset, the Director of Pedagogy of École 42, or School 42, which is a coding school which started in France but is now expanding, and we would like to hear more about your approach and what you are doing to inspire us as well. Thank you.
Buongiorno. Non è veramente possibile per me dare questa presentazione in italiano, so I'm sorry, I will do this in English. I'm very honored to be here today among you, and I will try to present you 42 and to try to connect this with STEAM approach, which is something that is a little bit not strange but unusual for me to present 42 on this aspect, but definitely I think we are connected with all the classic STEAM issues we are all facing. 42 is an information technology school. We are located in Paris, and our goal is to train students above 18 years old, so we are in higher education. We train them to become IT professionals. 42 have been created 6 years ago by Xavier Niel. He is owner of one of the 4 telecom companies in France. And he had several reasons to create 42 at the beginning. Maybe a little bit of context. I'm sure that all of you already know that we are now facing the 4th digital revolution, and it brings to us a huge set of robotics and artificial intelligence everywhere. So we are definitely going to this kind of society and to this kind of world. But unfortunately, we are missing a lot of IT professionals, people to handle this transformation. And 42 is in France, and that's what our founder, Xavier Niel, was facing. He was facing a huge lack of IT professional, and it's difficult for him as a telecom company to develop without the expected skills, without enough IT professionals. And France is not alone in this situation. All over Europe, we are missing IT professionals. It's part of a EU report a while back now that stated that next year in 2020, there will be almost 1 million IT professionals missing all over Europe. So definitely, we are facing a strong problem. And because we had some previous experiments, we did realize that our education, at least in France, was not providing IT professionals, was not filling this gap, because education was out of synchronization with the society, with the company, and the new expected skills. Just for example, in a classroom, usually when you say collaboration, it's still called cheating, and it's something that is forbidden. So today in a company, collaboration is a highly valuable skill, for example. So it's because of this context that our founder decided to create 42. So here is a nice picture of one of our computer room. It's the place where our students spend most of the time. And before trying to explain how it works, first we had 2 very important choices at the beginning of 42. First of all, we decided to have no degree requirement. Anyone above 18 years old can apply to 42. Why? Well, if there is a disconnection between classical education and what companies expect, maybe why should I rely on a, for example, high school degree to detect IT talent? High school degree for us does not reveal what we are looking for, does not reveal people who will be able to become IT professional. So that's why we do not rely on high school degree, and we do not want, and we do not require any any degree. Also, unfortunately, if you read the previous PISA results from the OECD, PISA report, sorry, well, France is in a very bad situation. There is a strong connection between poor social background and difficulty to access to higher education, where usually all the STEM training lies. So that's why we wanted to have no tuition fees. The school is completely free for students. We know from previous experiments that students who did drop out of school, we know from previous experiments that students from poor social background who cannot really access to higher education can have IT talent. So that's why we decided to create a strong selection process to only detect IT talent. It starts with online tests, and then it ends with 4 weeks long immersion. We call this the piscine. It's a French word for swimming pool. It's an immersion period when our students, well, not yet students, applicants, will taste what is 42. They will taste if they do like coding. They will taste if they do fit into our special pedagogical model called peer learning. I think this is something important for STEM and STEAM access for a lot of different people. When we are trying to promote 42, we usually are not telling the following message. We are not telling people, if you want to do some IT, come to 42. No. We are usually telling them, just try the selection process. Just try it. You start the online test. And maybe at some point you will realize that it's not for you. Or maybe at some point you will discover that you like what you are doing. You will discover that, hey, this is fun, I'm curious, I want to go further. And then it will reveal some kind of talent. It will reveal some skills you have and you did not thought you had at the first time. So I think it's openness of our selection process that can help attract new people to ICT, and maybe that can reveal some STEM vocation. Today, 42, it's a little bit less than 4,000 students. It's open 24/7. And here is our pedagogical model. I think some of you probably already know a little bit about 42, so it's not something new. And regarding what I saw on the different booths, there are definitely some connection with what you probably are already doing. We have no lecture, we have no teacher. We do not have any kind of online videos, we do not use MOOCs. So what are our students doing? Well, they are facing software development challenges. They need to create piece of software. They need to code piece of software. And this is a 100% project-based curriculum. It's a 100% hands-on curriculum. To be able to solve this project, students need to learn how to collect and gather information, how to filter this information. Because if you are looking for some information, technical information online, maybe you will find some true, false, irrelevant, obsolete information. So you need definitely to test everything to be sure that the information you get is the information you need. Usually you can do this alone. So that's why we call our pedagogical model peer learning. You need a strong collaboration with your neighbors, with your friends, to be able to debate. How do you understand the project? How do you think you can solve this problem? And you have some exchange and debate with your neighbors. And we hope that this creates some collective intelligence, bring new idea, new hypothesis that will be tested again and again. When a project is over, we have some peer evaluation system. Each student's progress at its own pace. Each student will be embedded in a complete video game. All our curriculum just act like a giant video game. Here we've got some kind of cryptic picture. It's what we call our holy graph. It's actually a visualization of the complete curriculum. And for each student, each individual student will have different colors depending on the project he already completed. The project he may have failed in red, completed it's in green, the available project in white, and the still locked project in gray. As soon as you progress, as soon as you solve the problem and have successful project, it unlocks new part of the curriculum. Students on the internet have a complete view of their own curriculum. They can see their own choice. They can have access to all the different profiles of all the other students. They are completely autonomous in front of the computer, and they can manage their own curriculum by themselves. Our curriculum have been planned for 3 years long, but some of our students are completing the curriculum faster in 1.5 years. Other students may plan from the beginning to complete the curriculum in 5 or 6 years, for example, maybe because they have a part-time job to live in Paris. The school is free, but living in Paris is usually a little bit expensive. So that's why we allow individual pace. Our students will have some choices of path, so they will be able to select different kind of projects. We have, back to the gamification, experience points. We have skills, so at the end of the curriculum, every student has its own skill profile. We use a local currency, we have quests, badges, houses, just like in Harry Potter. We have, of course, team, a lot of collaboration, challenge, and rush, for example, during the weekend and so on. This gamification for us is interesting, first because it's a motivation lever. Some of our students are definitely some geeks and they are playing video games a lot, and it's a cool and a familiar environment for them. So it brings motivation and it keeps them on track. Also, what we want here with the gamification is to legitimate the try, fail, the experimental approach. When you buy a video game in a video store, you will never buy a video game if you are sure that 100% sure that you will succeed all level at the first time. No, you know for sure that you will fail the first level 1 or 2 times. You know for sure that you will fail the second level maybe 5 or 10 times and so on, and then you will need to develop some strategies to achieve the next levels. So we want to have our students in this state of mind, so they will dare trying new things, and they will be able to experiment, they will be able to test new ideas and new things to figure out which one is interesting and which one can lead them to solve the project. All this pedagogical model is also definitely connected to what is happening in companies. In companies, well, you have a customer who is asking for a piece of code, a working piece of code. You have no teacher usually. In the companies today, if you want to have a powerful product on the market, you need definitely to have a strong collaboration with the sales team, with the marketing team, with the financial team, with the law team, starting from the beginning and during all the life of your product. So collaboration is a key element here. And we see a lot of more companies nowadays who are using some peer evaluation and flat management systems. I'm thinking a lot of different startups who have a very fluid management system. Also, maybe some of you who are more education-oriented, maybe can see some connection with famous pedagogical experiments. I'm thinking here about Sugata Mitra, about Jean Piaget, Célestin Freinet, and Maria Montessori, for example. From different conferences, I had a lot of feedbacks of people telling me, hey, what you are doing, I call this natural learning. You just created the same context when a baby is learning how to walk and how to talk. And indeed, a baby who is learning how to walk, usually the parents are not telling them, okay, stop. Before trying for the first time to stand up, please listen this nice lecture about gravity and about the forces on your leg, and then you will be able to try to stand up. but you will need to succeed at the first time or I will yell at you. Hopefully it's not happening like this. And that's why I think we have this kind of feedbacks. Our results, we have a lot of job and internship offers. We have outstanding evaluation and feedbacks from companies. This is our major KPI. This is our main quality indicator. So we are, of course, very aware, and we are asking a lot of companies to give us some feedbacks about our students and the expected skills. Some of our students, well, a huge part of our students actually launch their career before the end of the curriculum. And the company do confirm that our students do have the expected skills. By the way, what are these skills? Well, I think that as an ICT school, we are definitely part of the STEM environment in higher education. We are indeed developing technical skills, of course. And I'm thinking about algorithm, object-oriented programming, artificial intelligence, security, and all the very classic IT and technical schools. But we all know that IT is evolving very fast. We all know that in 5 or 10 years, there will be new languages, new piece of software, new hardware. And our students, well, they need to have a sustainable career. I don't want them to come back in 10 years saying, hey, I need to be trained again because I'm missing some skills. That's why, by design, we think that our peer learning model will develop these soft skills. We want our students to be able to solve new problems, to be in front of new kind of problem with no solution and still being able to solve them. We want to develop some adaptation skills, collaboration, obviously, critical thinking, self-learning, diversity handling, and creativity. What's the point here is more generally to develop an agile state of mind to be able to face an unknown future. Maybe you have noticed that I did put the creativity word here in a nice green, or blue, it depends. We think that creativity is very important. We think it's important because today creativity means innovation in a company. It means think out of the box and the ability to find new kind of business model, for example, new way of using technology to support the activity and to support the chain of value inside a company. We also think that creativity is important because in maybe 30, 50 years, at some point, there will be some artificial intelligence capable of creating piece of code. So my students and IT professionals will develop piece of code that will replace their own job, probably at the end of the artificial intelligence, but this probably will happen at some point. And what will be the asset of a human being in this kind of society? My point of view is that interaction between human beings and creativity will be the two most important assets of a human being in a fully robotized and fully artificial intelligence society. So that's why creativity is important for them, for us, and we have a lot of bonuses on all of us, different projects. We allow our students to have several ways of solving the same problem. With 50 different students, you can have 50 different pieces of code that will have at the end exactly the same feature and solving exactly the same problem. We consider coding like an art because everyone can express its own way of coding to solve and to realize exactly the same software at the end. I think this is a connection for us between our classical STEM approach, all these technical skills are definitely STEM, and to switch to STEAM, I think this is our art connection in 42. In a very classic way, we have a lot of event, hackathon project with companies all over the year. We have a lot of mixing students with other schools, hackathon, partnerships. It's always interesting to have this kind of student mix and collaboration early when both our students and students from an art school, students from business schools are still students and not yet part of the labor market. And finally, we have also our entrepreneurship program. But when I was thinking about, well, 42 and STEM and STEAM, I was thinking, hey, I'm missing something here. And definitely, if we are wide open, probably more than classic STEM training and more open to attract and reveal STEM vocation, we still have a huge problem with girls. Like a lot of ICT schools all over France, all over Europe, it's still difficult for us to attract women. And 6 years ago, when we created 42, we had a 7% gender balance, which is very low. It was already higher than other IT schools in Paris, but it's still pretty low. And today, we have a new entry batch with 20% of girls, which is way, way, way better. Unfortunately, we are still facing the two classic biases, cultural biases. The first one is that women, girls, think that STEM career and STEM training is not for them. And the second bias is it's if women and girls are embedded in a STEM training, well, they lack of self-confidence and they underperform. And we try to fight both. And it's very difficult. So far, we are using very classic approach to try to tackle these biases. We are promoting role models. We are doing a lot of conferences for our students, but also for young children in primary school and in high school. We try to host a lot of conferences. For example, we have a very nice conference called Startup for Kids, and it's a lot of different startups connected to education. We host it in 42, and we have a lot of young public and boys and girls at the same rate who are coming, and we try to promote this kind of ICT vocation, and more generally, STEM for boys and girls. We also have some specific environments. At the beginning, 6 years ago, we did not have exactly a strong neutrality in our environment and in our pedagogical model. For example, when you progress inside the curriculum, we used the first years to have some military grades. This is definitely not very attractive for women usually. And now we have more basic progression. We're using words like learner, member, alumni, very more classic and neutral approach. Hopefully, the girl gender balance is a little bit better in some of our other campuses. Today, 42, it's not just one campus in Paris, but it's a full network. It's a network with 11 already existing campuses, and during the next year, we will be 20 campuses. All these campuses are exactly the same, are using exactly the same curriculum. All these campuses will have the same access selection process. Usually it's a partner, just like our founder Xavier Niel, local partner who wants to create some campus, who want to promote the e-economy locally in the city, in the country, and they want to open a 42 campus. We still have some little differences between the different campuses. We can see input differences. For example, motivation for the applicants is not the same from one country to another country. Meaning if you are going to the United States, usually a free curriculum means low quality. So we need to address this kind of problem. If you are going into the Netherlands, you will see that in higher education, if I'm correct, in higher education, everything is completely free for students. So to have a free curriculum is something that is not attractive at all. And in France, this is something very interesting, because if you want to have a good quality ICT training, you cannot really rely on public university. You usually need to address to a very private, expensive curriculum. So this is an interesting and attractive argument. And a few different others. On the output also, the labor markets can have some different rules. For example, in France, internships can be 6 months long. It looks like it's more difficult in Russia, for example. So we need to adapt from the input and the output of the curriculum. But we do not need to adapt anything inside the curriculum. From now, everything we've seen reveals that all the students from all the different countries have exactly the same progression. They progress, they earn the experience points during the curriculum at exactly the same rate. We have exactly the same students who are failing some projects. We have exactly the same rate of students who are reaching the different states inside the curriculum. I think I brought to you a global presentation of 42. We definitely are an answer to help the growth of the e-economy in Paris and, of course, in all other different cities. I think that we are an example of what can be digital transformation into education, because if digital transformation is happening in all different fields of the economy, is moving and modifying some business model everywhere, probably it must have also some kind of impact over education. And I hope that I explained to you that, well, our approach and our, the way we are training our students can help to bring and to reveal more STEAM vocation for our students and for our applicants. Thank you very much. Grazie.
Thank you very much, Olivier. Thank you very much. I think there are many synergies. As you mentioned, many of our programs also are based on peer-to-peer and project-based learning approaches, so it will be interesting to explore further. I don't want to lose more time because we are a bit behind the schedule, so I'd like to invite Caroline Salerno. She's the Director of, for Inclusion and Change at Yux Net-a-Porter. It's an online luxury retail company, and she will tell us more about their approach to STEM education and to increase STEM skills among the citizens and in general, and also about gender gap in STEM. Thank you.
Thank you. My name is Caroline, and I am the head of Inclusion and Change at Yux Net-a-Porter. I am responsible for the diversity and inclusion program, as well as our digital education program. So for those of you who are not familiar with the group, it's a leading online luxury and fashion retailer. We're a unique business. We have 4 multi-brand sites, so Net-a-Porter, Mr. Porter, the Outnet, and Yux. We also power over 30 online flagship stores, some being Valentino, Moncler, Ferrari, etc. We have offices in 8 countries and employ about 5,000 employees worldwide. Okay, thank you. And Bologna and London are home to our 2 technology hubs. Just some fun facts about our business. We deliver our products to more than 180 countries worldwide, with a client base of over 3 million customers, which generate about 1 billion visits annually. And just last week, we announced a game-changing joint venture between Richemont Group and Alibaba in China. We have achieved not only outstanding results in business, but also in gender equality. So 63% of our employee base are women, and 50% of our executive committee are women. However, when we look at our digital and technology roles, that number goes down to about 30%. When we look outside of Yux Net-a-Porter Group at the wider technology industry, the numbers don't get much better. IT jobs in the US have about a 25% women representation, particularly in Silicon Valley. Women executives represent about 11%. And when you look at key roles like CIOs, CTOs, that's 9%. So as with many other companies, we have a dedicated diversity and inclusion team with the objective of achieving gender equality. Our focus is particularly on digital and technical roles. To reinforce this commitment, our CEO, Federico Marchetti, just this January became a male champion of change, along with 15 other CEOs in technology. And they have the mission to work together to achieve a significant and sustainable increase in the representation of women, but particularly also in senior leadership. So as with any standard D&I activities, our teams work on policy processes and programs, specifically around recruitment, pay, promotion, and development. This also includes other programs such as smart working, flexible working, mentorship, sponsorship, and leadership programs, specifically also tailored for women. A few years ago, we took this one step further and involved our women to help find solutions in areas such as retention and attraction. These women then united and created an employee-led resource group called Women in Tech, with the mission to create a space where women can flourish in a male-dominated sector. So today, themselves are the ones coordinating many internal programs to develop digital skills and also giving back to the community with external activities. However, we quickly realized that focusing only on internal initiatives, often just tied to human resource functions and also objectives, was not going to be enough to make a sustainable change. Because even if we wanted to set that 50-50 target, we wouldn't reach it because the talent pool just simply wasn't there. This is why 5 years ago, we created our digital education program with the objective of inspiring the next generation of digital leaders, but focusing particularly on young girls, so not just at university level. So here in Bologna, we've partnered with Fondazione Golinelli, and in London with Imperial College, not just to teach hard skills, but also to break the perception of women working in technology, and using our own women as role models to do that. So just this year, through all the courses, labs, and summer camps, we taught over 4,000 young children, 55% of which were girls. And we couldn't have done that without our educational partners. So to add to our local programs, this year for the first time, we created a global initiative and challenge for young women to dream up a fashion mobile app. I wanted to show you some of the projects and entries, but I'm unable to reveal them. But the lucky winners received a mentorship program from our top management. So by leveraging our unique position between fashion and technology, we hope to attract more girls into digital fields. And early next year, we'll announce some ambitious commitments for our education program, hoping to find the answer to this question. How might we foster female digital confidence in tech? We hope to answer this question by designing new education programs together with our partners in the coming years to be able to reach millions of young girls. We also hope that we're not alone in this. Not one company, institution, or government can tackle the gender gap itself. It has to be a coordinated effort, and I hope that's part of everyone's agenda here today. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Caroline. I do think that is part of everyone's agenda. Well, now, last but not least, before we break for coffee break, I would like to invite Donatella Solda. She is the director of Future Education Modena, an ed-tech startup, and we are curious to hear how do you see the future of education here in Emilia-Romagna and in Modena.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I think this is not the first slide, though. Is it possible that it's something? Yes, sorry. Okay. Oh, the surprise is broken. So my name is Donatella Solda. I'm the person between here and the coffee break, so I will be quick. Just a glimpse of what Future Education Modena is. Together with my fellow partner, after working a few years as the advisors of few ministers of education here in Italy, we have a background of researchers in ICT-related subject. I'm a lawyer, he's a sociologist. We've been working in innovation policies here in Italy and so all around the world in many occasions like OECD and gathering, international gathering, where EdTech was going. After 6.5 years in the cabinet of 3 different ministers, we decided that it was time to do something on our own. We got in touch with the Bank Foundation in a city, it's a medium-sized city of northern Italy. It's actually 30 kilometers from here, it's Modena. Bank foundations usually own landmark buildings in the city centers. What they do with this building is usually they try to associate a plan to fill these buildings, these gems, with some contents, cultural contents, or anything that could attract people and could engage the citizens. So I was there to advise on something that bank foundations usually do, such as doing some education activities for the city and for their K-12 system. So what they asked me and my partner was, please build us a plan of activities for education, possibly related to innovation, as our background was in innovation, in EdTech, in K-12 EdTech. And what we actually responded was a prototype for a space, for an organizational model, and for a production model, a learning design model. So we started to work at this 1.5 years ago. We opened to the public a few months ago. What you can see here, what they asked us is the yellow circle, the academy. They told us, please provide the city with some courses in coding, robotics, everything that is actually needed to compensate the skills that the school and in general formal education is not able to provide. And what we had in mind with my colleague was, instead of building a process, a sustainable process that could recognize the specificity of a territory, of a city, complementing it with partners who own the knowledge, and through a pedagogical model, providing a pipeline of new learning design contents. So research is part of this, learning design, so a production model is part of this, an academy, the offer of experiences is actually an intermediate phase before getting to a product and educational experiences which is tested, validated pedagogically, state-of-the-art for technology, and which embeds a knowledge of local or national partners. This is an example of what we've been doing in the last 3 or 4 months. For instance, there's a festival in Modena, very known at the national level. It's called Festival of Philosophy. 150,000 people pass by the city on that during those 3 days. In 15 hours, in those 3 days, 2,000 people passed in our building. We barely opened the doors. We were barely ready for that in that time. To do what? We had some installations on neurosciences, on computational linguistics, or arts, digital humanities. And why they were there? They were there because this is extremely crucial, topical at the moment, and there's a very big demand for citizens, and not only for formal education, to be part to this kind of experiences. In the corner down on the right, there's a lecture on during the week at 5:30 p.m. in the afternoon. 80 people usually come to attend lectures on how the brain works, how learning can be changed, knowing the mechanisms of brain and neurosciences. And this is a key example of the high demand that there is for this kind of topics. So just a couple of hints why we came up with this model. This is an example of how we worked while we were at the ministry. So you have these two ways of interacting with EdTech. One side, there are governments, public policies. This is an example of what we did. It was a master plan and a framework plan, 5 years plan for Italy with 1.2 billion budget, complemented by regional budgets. Emilia-Romagna was one of the most proficient regions complementing this kind of policy. As you can see, sorry, I apologize for this being in Italian, but as you can see, there are 3 pillars in this policy. One is about infrastructures, material and immaterial infrastructures. The other pillar is about competencies and skills, and the other is about training and interaction between K-12 and the territory around them. So what the public policy does usually is to give fundings to schools, and according to the autonomy that schools have in Italy, they have quite some autonomy. In other places maybe less, but schools, they try to get to a goal of adding some kind of competences to the curriculum that they already have, which is something difficult because they usually have rigid policies for staff. They can't really complement subjects and people. They struggle a lot with this. The average age of our teachers in Italy, we've got almost 1 million teachers employed by the ministry, 750,000 permanent space. The average age before our reform was 58 years old, which is something that you have to face when you need to interact with digital skills. So this is what the public policy does. Is a massive plan. I mean, when we did it, it was massive. Now it's less, in the middle of the attention of the current minister, but a massive plan with effects very delayed in time. We had some peaks of reactions, but to move 9 million students and 1 million teachers, it's something, that requests a lot of attention. And this is where the market, the EdTech market is going. This is an Avitas survey. It's actually not very recent. It's like from 2018, like 1.5 years ago. But this just to have a glimpse of where education and EdTech is going. EdTech is not is not thinking about the education like the connection between a book, a space, and a teacher with a student, but EdTech is widespreading throughout the life of a person, with many kind of interaction in many different environments. It's not only about contents, it's about credentialing, it's about experiences, it's about a lot more than how education is interpreted right now. So what we thought it was really mandatory for us to have was to pilot a new way of producing educational experiences, which were not driven only by the market. When we were at the ministry, usually we had two kinds of interactions. Either there were experiences highly pedagogically interesting, relevant, but very behind from the technological part, or technological-driven experiences, mainly based by the fact that technology just exists, not because it was intentionally necessary for that educational experience. So high in technology and very poor on the pedagogical side. So what we thought it was mandatory was that in our place, each person would have their time split in, let's say, in three. One part of their job would be research, one part would be to produce. So their job their goal is to produce experiences which are replicable, scalable, and with a potential. While the academy, so the performance of the education activity, would be their test, their moment of testing of the experiences. What is the result of that? It's basically a pre-seed. It's a step before what comes with incubation and then acceleration. So what we are trying to do is to enhance the quality of the EdTech sector in Italy by enhancing quality, by interacting with various partners. How do you change? Or maybe the coffee is ready, I don't know. Is it possible to change? I just wanted to show you our organization. Okay, just very quickly. So I was saying our project, our thing is three things in one. It's a space, it's a production model, a learning design, we call it, and it's an organizational model. This is a space. The space belongs to this 40,000 square meters hospital from 1752. So the first picture was the historical pharmacy. It's really in the city center of this city. So it's a space where everybody passes by. What we did in the 2,000 square meters space that they gave us, we are building 8 specialized areas, which are both a place where to perform activities, but also areas that are needed for our production. So by having these labs, we cover our overheads of production. And secondly, we try to document and to have these spaces as proof of concept of spaces relevant for education. So for instance, our STEM lab is actually a kitchen. So we use food to do chemistry and physics, and so on, and to document these things in order schools or other places to be able to replicate in their own spaces. I was saying that this project speaks to the city where we are. The first topic, digital humanities, is there mainly because the other investment of the Bank Foundation, who is giving us the budget for this 3 years experiment, 3 years that will, after a first period, will become a permanent a permanent space. It's because the other project that they are funding is related to the acquisition of a big part of the extensive documentation. So handwritten papers from between medieval times and recent times. When they do these kind of things, they invest in digitization, but they don't really understand how to make the most out of these exercises. So digital humanities is what they asked us to work at. And then there was our own agenda about STEM, about media literacy, media information literacy, for instance, and about learning sciences. So what is happening typically in our place is that together with the partners, as I said, we have 20 people, very diverse background, who relate to partners who are extremely proficient in their own disciplines. So for instance, when we do food lab, when we do the activities related to our STEM lab, which is actually a food lab, we work with Codinc. Codinc is an Italian national association with 1,600 farmers. They know how to produce food. We don't want to substitute them with that. We just make a synergy with them, the excellence department of Parma for nutrition and so on. And together, the three of us, we apply methodologies and technologies. They have knowledge, and Parma has the research and the R&D related to contents. And together we work to have meaningful, to produce meaningful products. This is our team. In a couple of months, we started in April, basically. In a few months, we have 20 people. They have very diverse background. We have neuroscientists, computational linguistics, data scientists, but also pedagogists, psychologists, game science teachers at the university. And so the diversity of our staff typically makes it possible for them to be able to cover in very quick time the needs, the first needs to understand whether their idea is relevant or not, whether it's possible to go on and to prototype what they have in mind. The spaces are, as I said, a proof of concept themselves, so it's a constant research to equip and to make these spaces relevant for what we are doing. And that's it. I hope you will come soon to visit us. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It was really interesting, and I'm sorry that I rushed you a bit in the end. But the space sounds really exciting, and we will be looking forward also to updates on what is your impact, because as you said, you are just starting just recently. I would like to invite you all now for the coffee break and for the project marketplace, which is just outside, and you saw when you are coming. And I would like to ask you to please be back at 11:45. We have a little bit of delay, but let's try to catch up with the timing. So yeah, enjoy your coffee.
here. So maybe you're even able to pass them, but as you want with these things.
If it works, for me it's okay.
Okay, it's up to you. Hola. Hola. No. But it has to turn off. No, it's okay. No one is gonna.
I think we should start. We are quite late with the beginning of this session, like 15 minutes late, and I think we need to start. Hello, everybody, to everybody whom I haven't seen yet. My name is Ekaterina Clifford, and I work for All Digital, and it's my great pleasure to introduce the next session, which proved to be quite popular in our previous events. It's called Lightning Talks, and it was requested in your feedback forms that we need to have it on both days. So we split this session in 2 days. Today we are going to talk about projects that are devoted to STEAM, STEM, and coding. And this is a very tough format for those who don't know what it is. So each presenter will have 5 minutes to talk about their projects, and each of them will have to answer the same questions: what the project was about, what social impact it has made, what lessons they've learned, so what they would leave the same if they had to start from the beginning, or what they would have changed. And the most important last question: how the delegates of the session, how all of you can benefit from their finding, their experience, and their projects. And I would like to start with one of our members, and actually the board member as well, Sarah Van Damme from Digipolis Ghent, from our member Digipolis Ghent, who will speak about one of their projects, Code City. Sarah, please come in. So 5 questions, and then it will be followed by 5 minutes of questions and answers. So prepare your questions that you want to start, Sarah, after she's done with her talk. Please.
Hi. This is the first slide. I don't know if the next, okay. I want to present to you the project Code City. I'm a program manager for e-inclusion for the city of Ghent in Belgium, and we have many projects. We have them on coding, but we also have them on other topics, but today I'm presenting Code City. With Code City, we send ICT role models to the schools as voluntary coaches, and they teach children the basics of programming and coding. After that, teachers also get a teacher training on coding and programming, so they can do projects afterwards in their school. We really love to work with the ICT companies to send role models, because then children see what they can become when they are going to learn more about coding and STEM. We do this with children in elementary schools in the whole of the city of Ghent. So all schools are invited for this project to participate for free. So what impact did we have last year? Well, actually, we reached 75 schools in Ghent, and we sent out the coaches to 160 classes, reaching 3,750 pupils. So the impact of the project was quite big on our local scale. And next to that, we also were able to find 152 coaches, so people from ICT companies, from university, who really want to engage and to help the children learn those new competences. We had 12 partners, and while we're speaking, we have still teacher trainings running for free for 400 teachers. So the impact on our local scale in our city is quite big with this project. Whoa, I'm talking really fast. I have time left. No, we're not. What are our lessons learned? Well, in the first year, in 2018, we started with individual coaches, and we really now want to focus on the CSR programs of bigger companies, because then we have groups of coaches from one and the same company. It is easier for us, and it really creates an impact difference in the companies as well. The next thing, logistics. We really had a problem with making the material going from one school to the other, so we look to improve that, and we use a bicycle courier to get the materials around the city. And for the next edition, we want to focus even more on differentiation, because we see some children already have a lot of knowledge on programming, and we also want to make the sessions very interesting for them. So next year, we will be using a new technology. The first year, we started with Scratch. on a Minecraft-based look and feel. The second year we use the blue bots. You can test them in the project space at the stand and at the stand of our partner Fixie. And the next year we will using the microbits. What will we keep the same? We bring materials to the schools. It's very important to show them and to let them touch all of those new technologies. And afterwards, we don't leave and all the materials are gone, but we put them in our digital lending service. It's a free service we provide in Ghent, so all people can use materials for free if they want to do e-inclusion projects. We also want to keep the IT company coaches because we really noticed the change, the impact it made on people wanting to help youngsters get those new skills. And we would really love to keep working together with our partner Fixie, EduCentrum, who is now also an all-digital member for the teacher training. Now, what can you get out of this? We are having the website codecity.ghent with all the materials and guidelines, all for free, all available. So all Belgium-speaking or Dutch-speaking people can use those materials and can set up the project right now. What would we like? If you think this is an interesting format and you as an organization or as a city service or as a region have an interest to duplicate this in your region, well, contact us and maybe we can set up a project together and if you want, translate the Code City materials and you can duplicate this with one click in your region. So this was a really short introduction. I made it 5 minutes. If you have questions, you can ask them now, or if you have long questions, you can speak to me during lunch.
Very much, Sarah. We have 5 minutes of questions and answers. I see there is a question from Loretta, but first I need to turn on this microphone, which I don't seem. What is the kid's age?
Okay, the kids, their age is 11 and 12 years, so in the last 2 years of the elementary school. Now, we are looking to make it a broader range, but those years are very important in making the choice for later studies and later work choices. So we specifically chose to focus on those 11 and 12-year-old kids. But maybe if we can convince our Ministry of Education, we will make the scope broader and we will go to secondary education next year. The teacher training now is a half day at Fixie, and we are looking to make it more a pedagogical study day on the school so all teachers can participate. So it's a full day working on STEM and really grasping how can I bring it to my classroom. And of course, we lead the children to the other initiatives in Ghent. If they like programming, if they find they have a talent for that, we show them where they can do more about it, and the teachers as well, which teacher trainings they can follow up if they like the topic.
Thank you very much. Any more questions? No, Gabriela. Yeah. Wait. Microphone, please.
Okay. Thank you. So my question is whether these activities happen within school, normal school hours, or whether you organize them as an extracurricular activity with the school. Thank you.
Thank you, Gabi. We chose to organize it within the school hours because one of our goals with this project is that showing that you can do these activities, that they are within your working plan as a school, and because the teachers really get a new feel by having people from the companies within their classroom. It's important from both sides. It's like a win-win-win-win because the teachers see these topics, these kind of approaches, the coaching approach is working for the students, and the people from the company really told us we get so much respect for teachers, for education, because it's in an environment with sometimes limited resources. We really see there is still a lot of work to do and we want to contribute. We want to donate or we want to invest time in this.
Thank you very much. Yes. I think that was a wonderful first lightning talk. Thank you, Sarah. And of course, you can come up to their project marketplace and see what they're doing. So the next project lightning talk is coming from our other member organization, Center of Technical Culture Rijeka, Croatia, and Ivan Mušanović will speak about their idea of STEM spring camps. They're called Makers na Školicu. Yeah? Is that correct?
Makers in Školić, yes. Hello everyone, looking beautiful today. Okay, next slide please. So actually Školić, that's the neighborhood where we are located, so we make it like makers on in this neighborhood, that's the name of it. And can I get the next slide? This is just intro. Okay. So this project was about getting kids interested in STEM, but really with a hands-on approach, because usually they listen about like microcontrollers, like LED, stuff like that. But this is interesting to them because, you know, they worked on real tangible projects. They could explore their creativity in those projects. For example, 5 projects that we made were like whack-a-mole, you know, it's like a game, arcade game, digital penalty shootout, smart lamp, digital memory game, candy dispensing machine. Can you imagine kids build his own candy dispensing machine? So we based our project on something that's fun to kids, and they learn while they're having fun. So that was like the most important thing. Besides that, youngsters from ages 11 to 14 from all around our country, so from rural areas and from areas, island areas, who maybe don't get a chance to participate so much in this STEM revolution, as we call it, they got a chance, and they got the chance, you know, the ones who participated, they were like so full of enthusiasm that they shared what they created with their peers in their societies. So it's like, it was like waves, you know, of children getting interested. You know, this is like, we already did it 2 times, and the children who are willing to participate in project is getting bigger and bigger every year. What would you change? Well, not much, because we had fun doing the projects, and the kids have fun. One thing, maybe we would like to make smaller teams, you know, because teams were like 5, maybe to 8 pupils inside, so that maybe we can make more projects, but of course that will require more mentors, and you know, financially we're sometimes, you know, like not in a good position. And it should definitely last for a longer period of time. But of course that is constricted by the holidays, because it's in the spring, and the children have just 4 days holidays then, and you know, we try to fit the whole camp in that 4 days. But you know, that would of course allow more time for the youngsters to get to know each other. Things that we would keep the same are the workshops. It was based on Arduino, microbit, 3D modeling, programming, physical modeling, you know, they were with little saws. They actually created like these objects, digital objects. And of course the quality free time, because not whole day was about learning. There was like walks, games, field trips, quizzes, museum visits, and stuff like that. Other thing that we would like to definitely keep is the teaching methodology. You know, youth-friendly, tangible projects. It should be like something that kids really like, and something they can feel, they can touch, you know, something they can work with. Of course, they're given the freedom to creatively express themselves, and of course, good mentors. How can you benefit? Well, I think that this is like a good idea, and we can definitely, you know, try to scale it up on a European level, you know, to share the experiences, and maybe, you know, create camps like this, you know, all over Europe, and maybe like international camps where children can, you know, travel to other countries. Of course, we can share the project methodology. We'll talk to you about that a lot. And If not that, you can always get the creative ideas for your future workshops. And there is a potential of creating longer, like maybe all year lasting workshops, based on this, because this was like 4 days and children there, from 0 to 24 hours all day long. And maybe, we can make it like shorter. Thank you.
Thank you. My name is Yakov. I have a simple question. Did you evaluate the results of this kind of camps and Did you evaluate the results of these kind of camps and does your project change and bring some positive results to local communities? Do students continue educate themselves or buy some kind of stuff or continue programming and things like that?
Well, yes, actually, first year when we organized this, it was 2 years ago, some of the students bought their own like microbits. They tried to do some stuff on their own. And they also got interested in their friends. So next year when we organized the second project, when friends of some of that first year students came, they already have their own like microbits. They knew something, so we could make a more elaborate project because they had some basic skills and knowledge.
Any more questions? Yes, please. Okay, I think it's closer to me.
I was wondering, how do you decide on the project ideas? Is there a list of kids to choose from, or if not, how do you go about the brainstorming?
Yes, well, we make like general ideas. For example, we say, okay, first year we said, okay, let's make a small pinball machine, like a flipper. And we have to, make it viable, We have to get the materials. We have to try it a little bit if it's even possible to do in such short time, in 4 days. And we create like boxes for them. And in the box, there's like all of the tools, all of the materials they need. And of course, we let them be creative in a way they will use those materials. For example, they make a pinball machine. It can be like smaller, bigger, more lights, small lights. They make like their own. They program their own like way of counting points and stuff like that. So it has to be like guided in some way. Yeah.
Any more questions? No? I have a little question. Could you give an example of one of the youth-friendly projects that you've done?
For example, the projects are mostly like games or something that children would like. For example, this candy dispensing machine, that was like the best one for me, because they made it like when you get coffee, you click and the microbits, electromotors, they work and they give you a candy. Imagine if child does that by himself, It's kind of cool.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
And of course, you can come ask more questions later. Just before our next speaker, I would like to make a little reminder that we have translators and try to speak a little bit slower so that they manage to translate everything in time. So our next speaker is coming from Albania. Bisiana Hisa from Albanian Institute of Science. She will be talking about the first Albanian course in Albania on ICT for young people to improve their employability. Please.
Thank you. So, hi everyone, my name is Bisiana Hisa. I work for Albanian Institute of Science, a small NGO based in Tirana. And together with Open Data Kosovo, we are working and implementing Open ICT Education for Youth Employability project. So this project is a cross-border project between 2 countries in Balkans and is founded from EU as the IPA program. The project targets the importance of the acquisition of high-value ICT skills from the youngsters and also the knowledge accessible to knowledge to be accessible to everyone. We are working with some regions in North Albania and Kosovo that are very poor regions, and with the schools that we are working, some of the schools didn't have any computers in their informatic labs, so the situation was not so good and so easy for us in the beginning. Open ICT Education for Youth Employability Project created the first online platform including 3 courses in ICT in Albanian language. It was the first time in Albanian that these kids have the possibility to work and learn in Albanian. The platform is named Kursori.org, and we have 14 tech leads working in 7 institutions, 2 in Kosovo and 5 in Albania. Regarding to the indicators, we have our main indicators was to have 500 participants, and we have already more than 500 registered students in the platform. 3 online courses are already online. 7 specialized learning centers are benefiting from the action. A total of 28 computers are distributed in these schools. There are not too many, but it's more than none. The platform had in the first 6 months 668 active registered users, from which 355 are girls, so 53 persons. That is a huge number, and we didn't expect in the beginning. We tend to do a lot of surveys during the use of the platform, and these are the results of one of them for the first course on the platform. Also, I wanted to say that because I skipped from the first slide, we have in December to create a boot camp with 30 students from these schools, and it will be 3-day boot camp, and they will work in groups of 3 members, and also we will have companies seeing their works and what they have done. So I need to skip to this. Okay, no, to the. Okay, thank you. So if we will say about the lesson learned in Albania, there will be a lot. I will start with the worst one. So as it was the first time that we had this kind of project in Albania, we didn't know very well the situation with the schools, and we didn't know that some of the schools and the institution there didn't give us this information, didn't have any computers. So we planned only 28, not more computers. Also, in Albania, it's very difficult for the parents to understand that if you don't have a printed certificate, it's okay because we have online badges and they create this online portfolio. So you have to issue certificates in Albania, because it's very important. The communication with institution is a little bit difficult. Mostly we needed 7 months to have an agreement with the Ministry of Education to work with the students of 4 high schools in Kurbin. VAT is not refundable in Albania, so keep in mind to have more money in your organization than the budget request. Also, if we are going to do the good things, we are working with 7 very interested institutions, and the teachers there are very active in our project. So we have 14 tech leads, and most of them are teachers on the schools. Also, we have established an online community. The students are very active, and for me it was very, very strange to see that students that didn't have any computers, did not have any smartphones, now are programming in 6 months, very difficult. They have created a library website for one of the schools, or a website with all the lessons in the computer science for another school. So they have gone too further with the study. Also, this is a show of the 3 courses that we have. So practical web application development, database design analysis and web integration, a scalable software product deployment. So these are the 3 courses. These courses have 7 hours of lessons divided in 255 videos, and the videos are almost 20 minutes long, each video. So in the end, we will say that the curriculum that we worked is very good. It's in Albania, but it's very easy to translate in English. So if you are interested to have an English version, we can translate it easily. After finishing these 3 courses, everyone can easily find a work in IT sector that in Albania also is in high demand. And students do not need any prior knowledge. So if they have none of a knowledge prior, it's okay. So I try to make it very fast, but hopefully I didn't forget anything.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Questions? Yes, please. There's a question. Mariusz?
The question is how much time is needed to complete one of these courses?
We thought about 3 months, but we see that the first course was easy. I don't think more easy maybe, and the most of the students finished it for 2 months. The third course is a little bit longer because it's more difficult.
Okay, thanks.
Any other questions? Can I ask a question? Oh, sorry. Yes, please, Ivan. Maybe Gabriel.
Do students have some tasks, like final exams they have to perform, like
yes.
a project or something like that, during the MOOCs?
Yes, they have quizzes in the end of each MOOC. So also the tech leads, because we have 2 tech leads for each institution, give them tasks during the lessons. So they have 2 hours of offline meetings with tech leads, with each tech leads in the schools. So they give them different tasks. And also most of the homework, they are not really homeworks, but the homework they do, or tasks they do, are suggested in the beginning from one of the tech leads or the idea they get in the offline meetings.
Thank you very much. I'm just wondering, when you created this project, did you use any of the experience from the all digital members?
Yes, in fact, I remembered and had gathered a lot of information prior from this, and we had the idea begin from here because it was our idea.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bisyana.
Thank you also for the idea.
And our 4th project for today is about a very complicated topic. The project was called UMI-SciEd, and I'm inviting the representative from Hellenic Open University, DAISY Research Group, Theodor Panayotopoulos, to present this very complicated project. But of course, some of all digital members have heard about it a lot of times, but there is more to it, and you will hear about it now. Please, Theodor.
Hello, everyone. This project, the main focus of this project is to bridge the gap between the scientific community and society, leveraging cutting-edge technologies. These are core technologies of ubiquitous computing, mobile computing, and Internet of Things, which form major technological trends of the present and years to come. All these technologies, which we call UMI technologies, were used both as learning tools and learning objectives. The main goal of this project was to create an open digital collaborative platform, learning environment, for students and teachers to allow students to familiarize with UMI applications and thus envision a career in these technological fields, to improve the UMI and digital skills of teachers, and to foster more responsible research and innovation. Its impact in the short and medium term was the creation of a first-of-a-kind synthesis of UMI toolkits and communities of practice to deliver enhanced training courses. It also supported the broadening of the infrastructure for UMI application development within authentic school settings, thus giving a realistic view of these technologies to students, and it created a UMI umbrella organization within all digital with local nodes running informative and training sessions. In the long term, it provided a measurable evaluation framework to measure teacher and teaching and learning benefits and assess knowledge gains after UMI training sessions. It also supports the collaborative development of innovation projects and links them with accessible European stakeholders who can lead development and innovation. Finally, it defines training guidelines and educational material which adhere to specific learning standards. What we learned, what we would keep the same. First of all, the selection procedure of the trainees. We checked the marks they had in relative courses, school courses, and then we conducted some mini interviews. We achieved to have participants who were very engaged and no one quit. We liked very much the extended analysis of the physical world's issues that drive UMI application development so that students understand the motivation and impact of these applications and not do things just in a mechanical manner. We would include the revision word game, which gave a note of relaxation and fun in a very demanding training course. And of course, we would keep the detailed educational scenarios, which helped and guided the teachers throughout a very tight schedule. What we would change? We noticed that the trainers faced some technical difficulties during the training courses, especially concerning network setup. Also, they lacked of scientific background in various key concepts, such as ubiquitous computing, which is natural. So we would include an intermediate step to train the trainers. In addition, we could reduce the amount and content of the questionnaires we gave to students, because in a school setting, they consume too much time and distract students. We would stimulate them to have some more time to interact with the platform, navigate in its content, maybe collaborate with some other users, and we would surely engage more industrial stakeholders than what we did. We had our focus more on school stakeholders. Now, how can you benefit from this project? You can log in and register to the online networking platform for self-evaluation, professional guidance, and education through innovative pedagogical methods, which are based on communities of practices. Also, you can purchase and use Udo kits developed in the context of this project, which are single-board computers with lots of functionalities and accompanied with various hardware components such as sensors, buttons, LEDs, jumper wires, breadboard, etc. In addition, you can use the online repository of open data that this project provides with educational projects, educational scenarios, activities, and relative educational material, either to create your own UMI session, training sessions, or to prepare some similar training scenarios. And of course, you can use the evaluation framework created in the context of the project to assess your training sessions. Thank you. I managed to do it.
Thank you very much. Oh, that was perfect timing. So before we go to question, I would like to mention that a lot of project partners are among the participants of our summit, so you can talk not only to Theodora and Achilles, but to many others, like Monica from Norway and Luca from Italy. Yes, please come. So questions, please. The complicated UMI-SciAD project. Okay. Are there any questions or just...
I did a good job. No? I did a good job.
Oh, you did a great job presenting everything. So maybe you can say, or maybe Achilles can say a little bit about, you mentioned that about the umbrella organization within All Digital. Maybe we can elaborate a little bit more about that, what it means. Can you, Achilles? Yes, please.
Yes, it's better.
Thank you, Katia, for bringing this up. Maybe those of you who were present in this year's General Assembly, you probably remember that we gave a presentation about this umbrella organization, All Digital, being a partner in this Horizon project and being a partner responsible for dissemination and exploitation. luckily agreed to function as an umbrella organization for taking care of the platform, the content of the platform, and mostly the community of practice that has been developed in the context of this project. And this community of practice includes organizations who provide STEM training, or especially when they use this kind of technologies, UMI technologies, and who are willing to contribute to the dissemination and widespread usage of these technologies into education and training. So we have the platform. Whoever is interested can send us an email and can register in the platform. You will have access to the content, and hopefully you will upload your own content. And content means training scenarios, projects, and so on that can be taken, implemented in schools or in non-formal education settings. And All Digital is managing the whole process through the cluster that we have in All Digital called STEAM for Society. Those of you who are members probably can find the cluster and can register to it, and through that you will have access to the platform. The rest of you who are not members can send us an email, and we will make sure that you will get a password. Thank you.
Thank you, and become a member as well. Thank you very much. I would like to thank you, Theodore. Let's thank all of our speakers with a very complicated thing, and special thanks to Victoria, who was helping with all the presentations over there. Thank you. And now let's give word to Gabriela back.
Okay, well, now I would like to introduce our last session before the lunch. I think that you heard already a couple of times this word, the Codinc project, this word, coding. And I would like to say that it's not a typo, that it finishes with C and not with G. So apart from the coding partners, does anyone have an idea why that is, and what does this coding mean? Anyone wants to give it a wild guess? No one? Filippo? You know it? Okay. So someone who doesn't know it. Elena, what do you think?
Inclusion.
Of course. Obvious. Okay, so I would like to invite Pia. She's the project coordinator, and she will introduce the session and the speakers.
Okay. Thank you very much, everyone. Just some advice. Some of the session will be in Italian. We'll show a video at first. You'll hear it in English, but if you don't have a headset, please do get one. Yes, we can roll with the video.
I'm not sure if I can teach coding to young people. I need ready and tested resources to help me build my coding course. I wish someone had done this before. And of course, they have. We have. It is important for young people to understand how to be a participant in the digital world and be proactive in creating a better future. The Coding for Inclusion team has developed a methodology to empower young people to gain digital competencies like computational thinking and coding. Computational thinking is a way to solve problems by expressing them in a sequential manner like a computer would. The Codinc methodology aims to teach computational thinking in an accessible and fun way. Codinc aims to ensure that children and young people not only use digital tools but actively create. Our methodology trains high school students to use computational thinking, to learn how to code using offline and online exercises. After they are trained, they then teach younger peers in their community the methodology, creating a peer learning STEM community. It also becomes a working experience for young people. The Codinc curriculum and toolkit were created and piloted in disadvantaged areas across Europe. Online, there is a toolkit offering a range of resources to trainers. These resources flexibly into concrete modules to teach young people the Codinc methodology in only 15 hours. Codinc provides teachers and trainers with a portal to share their best practices in coding education and learn and review the best practices of others. Want to take part in the Codinc project? You can. Go to codinc.fun/toolkit to join the online Codinc community, where you can download the methodology and toolkit. Share your best practices by uploading your open educational resources in the online Codinc toolkit. Above all, you can implement the Codinc curriculum in your community and empower the younger generation to learn from one another to be the digital creators of tomorrow.
Thank you. I'll just do a quick presentation about the Codinc project, and then we'll start a panel with some special guests that are coming for us. So Codinc aims to foster STEAM education of disadvantaged young people with an inclusive educational approach, and it's based on peer learning. It was piloted in 7 cities spread across 5 European countries last spring. And thank you, I'm very short. Over 200 students took part, and they were teaching over 500 of the younger peers. So the pilot took place in high schools, where high school students in their late teens, between 15 and 18 years old, learned how to do the coding project, and then they went on to teach younger people between the ages of 10 and 12. As I said before, the methodology teaches young adults the Codinc methodology, which is a fun and easily adaptable STEAM program that is focused on coding, and it's delivered in 15 hours. Afterwards, they go and teach their younger peers in elementary schools. This becomes their first working experience, and they also learn how to become a teacher. Well, not officially, but they get the experience. It's based on Capital Digital, which was a best practice developed by project partner and All Digital member Max. And the toolkit is a short 15-hour program. It includes offline and online exercises, and it's modular and adaptable, and it focuses on coding. And now I would like to welcome our coding trainer from University of Naples, Franco Rubinacci, teacher from the University of Naples, Mariella Mantile, and 2 coding students, Elvira Tosso and Alessia Calate. Please welcome them to the floor. And these 2 young ladies and their teacher took part in the coding pilot in Naples. They just came from Napoli this morning at around 11 a.m., so I'm very grateful they could come over and share their experience with us. And as everyone speaks Italian, Franco will be facilitating this discussion. And thank you so much for doing this. I can't wait to hear about your stories.
Allora, buongiorno a tutti, mi chiamo Franco Rubinacci e vengo dall'Università degli Studi di Napoli Federico II ed oggi insieme a questa splendida e gradita delegazione del liceo Margherita di Savoia di Napoli, che ha preso parte al progetto Codinc, ecco, vi riporteremo proprio un'esperienza concreta. Cioè parliamo tanto di risultati, oggi abbiamo proprio portato i risultati. Ok, volevo ringraziare anche l'organizzazione di All Digital e l'Opificio Golinelli per l'ospitalità e ringraziare anche Pia per la pazienza dimostrata durante tutto il progetto Coding. Okay? Grazie. Ok, quindi come dicevo riporteremo un po' la nostra esperienza facendo delle domande sia alle ragazze, alle nostre studentesse che presento, abbiamo Elvira Toso, giusto? E Alessia Calate e la nostra insegnante, la professoressa Mariella Mantile. Quindi partirei subito con la più classica e semplice delle domande. Mi riuscite a sentire, sì? Ok, allora, cosa ti è piaciuto del progetto Coding?
Sì. Allora, del progetto Coding, la cosa che mi è piaciuta di più, e che credo che sia piaciuta anche ai miei compagni, comunque è stata l'interazione e la collaborazione con gli altri. Comunque l'ambiente che si è creato con i professori e con i collaboratori è stato sia professionale che molto tranquillo, espansivo, mentre comunque l'approccio che abbiamo avuto con
questa nuova metodologia tecnologica comunque è stato un vantaggio, soprattutto perché facciamo parte della nuova generazione, quindi è stato più vicino a noi.
Perfetto, grazie. Allora, una domanda adesso per Alessia. Durante l'esperienza di Codinc avete avuto anche l'opportunità di insegnare, no? Cioè di assumere un po' il ruolo di insegnanti ai vostri coetanei più giovani. Ecco, può dire qualche esperienza in merito?
Allora abbiamo avuto appunto l'opportunità di fare da insegnanti a dei ragazzi delle scuole medie. La cosa è stata sia difficile che complicata perché comunque sia essendo noi abbastanza inesperti su questo campo abbiamo avuto delle difficoltà appunto a relazionarci ma soprattutto a fare noi da educatori a ragazzi che comunque avevano maggior parte la nostra età, cioè erano più piccoli di 2 anni. La nostra esperienza da educatori è cambiata anche in modo, cioè, è cambiata anche in base alla nostra percezione di educatori, quindi non vediamo più gli insegnanti come, non mettiamo più un muro davanti agli insegnanti perché abbiamo capito la difficoltà di insegnare e soprattutto di dare attenzioni a 20 ragazzi con ognuno di loro con diverse capacità o comunque con diverse problematiche.
Quindi non è solo l'insegnare, ma anche un po' gestire il gruppo classe, giusto? Che già... Ok, vi piacerebbe ripetere l'esperienza del progetto Codinc? E perché? Se sì, perché? O se no?
Allora, l'esperienza Codinc è un'esperienza che comunque, secondo me, a parer mio, si dovrebbe ripetere, perché oltretutto è un'esperienza che mira comunque a una metodologia diversa di apprendimento che è più vicina ai ragazzi ed è anche più vicina e porta i professori comunque ad essere più vicini ai ragazzi. Quindi c'è un rapporto diverso e soprattutto perché diciamo questo è il futuro. Quindi sia imparare nel gioco, imparare con la tecnologia.
Ora, un'altra domanda. Se avessi il potere, magari essendo il ministro dell'istruzione, consiglieresti il progetto Codinc? Cioè lo applicheresti?
Lo applicherei anche perché è una metodologia di studio che c'è una metodologia di studio alternativa e oltretutto molto più educativa rispetto alla nuova generazione, perché credo che ormai la lezione frontale si utilizza maggior parte nelle scuole, però comunque i ragazzi tendono ad apprendere molto più velocemente grazie alla tecnologia e non più grazie alla lezione frontale con i professori.
Adesso abbiamo una domanda un po', ecco, vorremmo una vostra esperienza proprio personale, ok? Proprio delle considerazioni proprio veramente personali, ok? Rispetto al progetto.
Allora, la nostra classe dopo questo progetto è stata completamente rivoluzionata, siamo stati tutti più uniti e abbiamo collaborato, chi più chi meno, qualsiasi diciamo, proposta era ben accetta, quando prima inizialmente la nostra classe non era una delle migliori, ecco, mentre anche il rapporto comunque con i professori ora è cambiato perché noi conosciamo le difficoltà che loro provano, soprattutto avendo a che fare con ragazzi così piccoli come noi.
Ok, va bene. Allora, adesso una domanda per la docente, diciamo la docente, una domanda unica che racchiude un po'. Allora, come c'è l'esperienza da docente, ok? Quali sono stati i benefit, ok, dell'intero progetto, cioè dell'intera esperienza e soprattutto qual è la differenza da un punto di vista dell'insegnante tra la lezione tradizionale e una lezione invece all'interno del progetto Codinc, oppure una lezione proprio in generale supportata da un progetto, ok?
Buongiorno a tutti, innanzitutto io voglio ringraziare tutta l'organizzazione, il professor Franco Rubinacci e la facoltà di psicologia della Federico II di Napoli per questa opportunità che ci ha dato perché la partecipazione a questo progetto, come dicevano le due ragazze, effettivamente ha determinato un cambiamento nei loro rapporti interpersonali, quindi degli alunni, sia tra di loro che con i docenti. Soprattutto nella loro esperienza poi nella scuola di primo grado, dove sono stati diciamo loro i protagonisti, tra virgolette loro i docenti, hanno capito insomma quali possono essere le difficoltà. Allora i benefit secondo me sono sicuramente la creazione di nuove dinamiche nei gruppi, questo sicuramente, dove chiaramente costituendo dei gruppi eterogenei si è venuta a creare una situazione di cooperazione. E quando il professor Rubinacci chiedeva, dice ripetereste il coding, questo progetto, io avrei risposto, io applicherei il coding nelle varie discipline scolastiche. Purtroppo ancora la scuola italiana è molto legata e ancorata alla lezione tradizionale e frontale, e i ragazzi invece quando si parla di nuove tecnologie, di digitalizzazione, sono invece molto più disponibili agli apprendimenti. E quindi io dico sempre che noi docenti dovremmo partire non dal fatto che noi insegniamo, ma dal fatto che loro debbano apprendere, e quindi adattare anche le nostre strategie agli individui, insomma, con cui noi abbiamo un dialogo educativo. E penso di aver risposto in maniera adeguata. Saluto tutti e ringrazio.
Thank you for that. I am so happy we have translation, so thank you ladies in the back for helping us understand each other. And we still have a few minutes left, and I was wondering whether there would be some questions from the audience. I see Mariana lifted up her hand, and she's an Italian speaker. I have a microphone right here, I'll pass it over to you.
Yeah, no, it's work. Ok. Allora, sono molto interessata a una domanda soprattutto, perché abbiamo parlato molto stamattina di gender balance nei posti di lavoro, in questo caso nell'istruzione e quindi nella scuola. E uno degli argomenti di cui si parla tantissimo oggi è proprio l'accesso delle ragazze a determinate discipline. Quindi la cosa che mi interessa sapere è se voi avreste scelto questo tipo di percorso se non ve l'avessero proposto a scuola. È una domanda che sembra scema, in realtà è proprio questo secondo me il focus, perché molto spesso si dice, no? Ma nei posti di lavoro oggi non ci sono le donne perché comunque non gli interessa. Questo è uno dei bias più importanti e più grandi che ci sono oggi. Cioè la donna, vabbè, non ci sono in finanza, non ci sono in tecnologia, non ci sono quando si parla di digital skills, perché non gli interessa, perché comunque le donne preferiscono fare altro, no? Quindi quello che mi interessa sapere è, voi due nello specifico, ma anche magari le vostre compagne altre, ne avete mai parlato da prima di aver avuto questa possibilità, o è una cosa che vi è venuta in mente perché ve l'hanno proposta?
Allora, credo che comunque questa domanda sia, cioè la mia risposta sia generica rispetto anche alle mie compagne. Noi non abbiamo parlato se avremmo o no scelto il percorso coding, però credo che sia un percorso valido, quindi adatto sia al genere maschile che al genere femminile, interessante allo stesso modo, perché comunque dà possibilità eque ad entrambi i sessi, e comunque credo che non ci sia proprio divisione, quindi ci ha dato un percorso educativo diverso, un percorso formativo che toccava vari campi, quindi sì, ad esempio io personalmente l'avrei scelto.
In quel caso non fosse stato proposto dalla scuola.
Thank you. One more short question, please. Yeah? Can I? Okay. One short question. If I understood correctly, so you have been trained for 15 hours. You have been trained in the duration of 15 hours. How much time have you spent in the primary school with the kids? Is it the same 15 hours?
It's for the primary sempre 15 ore, quindi 15 ore di preparazione e 15 ore di messa in pratica, ecco.
And then there'll be one more person to ask a question, but I think after that we should wrap up. I'll say a few things to summarize this, but sorry.
Hello, I would like to know of the students, what were your 3 favorite things about the 15-hour training that you had? What were your 3 favorite things and why?
Allora, il rapporto che si è creato con gli insegnanti e con i collaboratori, perché sono stati veramente fantastici. Cioè, ci hanno preso in una maniera in cui ci hanno travolto e il progetto veramente ci è piaciuto un sacco. Vuoi dire tu una seconda? Poi credo anche il imparare giocando. Infatti il coding non è un percorso non agibile a tutti. Diciamo che giochiamo, cioè infatti abbiamo avuto un mini robot che collaborava con noi, quindi noi abbiamo imparato a ragionare come un robot e tutto, però effettivamente questo approccio ci è servito ci è servito per utilizzare comunque strumenti che effettivamente sembravano